So before I started traveling to Austin for the Consensus 2023, I said to you guys that I was expecting leverage to be shaken out and actually was expecting the market to come down. Those of you that were paying attention and following me on my Twitter, you would have seen that yesterday I took a long actually on Bitcoin at 27,980. So I'm going to show you why I took that long today, because something happened in the market and it forced me to change my position, because you have to be fluid. You know, you can't have one thesis and then not change your thesis when the market changes. I'm going to show you what changed in the market. I'm going to show you why I think that this is actually a fundamental change, why I went long. And then I'm going to show you what my next move is, because it's big. This is a fundamental step change, which has made me pivot from being slightly more bearish to slightly more bullish. So let's do this. It's going to be a big show.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
So I don't know, one of you here says different view every video, and you're wrong. And I'll tell you why I think you're wrong, because I always said that I think the direction of the market is up. I did think though that there was a little bit too much leverage in the market, and I showed you the chart of the leverage over here, and I said to you, for as long as there is too much leverage in the market, I'm waiting for one more shakeout. But if the shakeout happens, then I'm back in the market, and I actually think that we're very much in a positive uptrend, which is different from what Gareth feels. Gareth actually feels that we're in a downtrend. I said, I think we're in an uptrend. I think maybe we'll get one more leg up to flush out the leverage. But now I'm actually changing my view. There's not going to be another leg down. We're now back on the way up because something fundamental's happened, and that's what we're going to talk about on the show. You got to be fluid. Gabby the DJ, what he says is absolutely right. We report on what's happening on the market on a specific day. Now, no one can predict what's going to happen in the future, but we need to know what we're looking for in order to change our thesis. Now, that's why when I was traveling yesterday, I said to you, usually I don't always tweet my buys, but I knew that you guys really thought that I was going to be short for one more leg down, and I had to tell you somehow that I'm not going to be short anymore and that I changed my position. And that's why what I did, I said, guys, I've gone long, 27,980 is my entry point. If you want to do it, and particularly with those of you who are playing in the competition, I didn't take my entry in my competition account because the competition wasn't open. I do see that the competition is now open. Let's just see what the rankings are. You can still enter, of course. Oh, okay. I wonder why it's not showing me the rankings. Let's see. Maybe this one will show me the rankings. There's 992 people. You can still enter. It's a great time to enter because the market's actually starting to go up. So I want to show you what happened. I want to show you what caused this, and I want to show you why I'm not that concerned about the leverage. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's fundamental. It's going to be big. It's much bigger than you think. As you can see, I'm back to being not. I was optimistic, but I was cautious, and I said, look, one more leg down, shake out the leverage. Now I'm saying no. This leverage is actually now going to continue to go up because what's happening now is actually much bigger than crypto, and we got to talk about what it is that's actually happening. So here I am on the way to Consensus, bringing you, as usual, crypto love and crypto wisdom. I'm going to try and do this every day while I'm here at Consensus. And I need you guys to really appreciate how hard it is for me to do this for you guys. So the time now in Consensus is about 8:30 in the morning. So it's 8:30 a.m. in the morning. To bring you the show, I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Between 5 and about 6:30, I mean, for 5 and 5:30, I had to shower, get dressed, drink my breakfast, have a cup of coffee, and then start researching the market. You got to research the market for at least 2 to 3 hours with the research team to actually dig into it. Now, remember, when I went to bed last night, it's a very different market from the one that we're in this morning. So had to wake up this morning, which means that to bring you shows, I have to be up at 5 o'clock every morning, knowing that I'm actually going out every single night, because I actually came here to network and to meet the Banter fam for those people who are here in the Banter fam. So listen, all I'm asking you to do, I'll keep doing this because I love you guys, and I think as a community, I want you guys to be the biggest, most profitable community in the world, and I'm going to do my ultimate best to just make sure that we change as many lives as possible. All I want you to do is I want you guys to be here, to tell your friends, to smash the like button, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to our channel. Just before we get into the alpha, and there's lots of alpha here today, I promise you it's going to be one of the highest alpha per minute shows that we do. I do want to just say that there's great news about Bitcoin 2023 in Miami. So for those of you who want to come, there is a referral link below. You got to sign up using the referral link below, and the words, I think the words are Crypto Banter. And I'm going to show you why that is so important. Let me show you why. Hold on, let me just quickly get there. Super important that I show you this, because there's something huge here that's happening. It's very limited, very, very, very limited, and I want to show you what it is. So when we go to Miami, which is in May, it's around, I know I land in May around the 15th of May. There is a link here to buy tickets. Now, when you use this link and you buy tickets using this specific link, the first 20 people that buy tickets at this discounted price, you got to use the words Crypto Banter. You guys will join all the Banter hosts for a private dinner. So it'll be myself, Sheldon, Miles, Hustle, Fred, Kyle, all of us, and you guys, 25 people at a dinner, but it's only for the first 20 people that actually buy those tickets. Now, we don't get any of the proceeds of those tickets. Obviously, they just go to Bitcoin Miami. But if you do that, if you do buy a ticket, then you'll actually join us for the special VIP dinner, which is 25 of us, just 20 people and the 5 hosts from Banter, and we can have some fun and celebrate with the Banter fam. So listen, I think it's a great thing just to bond with 20 people and just spend some time with the most amazing fam in the world. Anyway, you wanted alpha, we bought you alpha. I've got to show you what's happening. I've got to show you why I changed my position, and it's quite big. So I said to you before I left, I said to you that the reason I was waiting for the leverage to drop slightly, that's what I said to you. I was watching this and I was saying, look, I'm watching the Binance perpetuals and I'm watching this part of the chart over here, this little bottom part of the chart go down. You see, I said to you, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the leverage to come down. And you can see that for 3 days in a row, the leverage actually did come down. You see 1, 2, 3 red candles, the leverage actually did come down. And everything was actually going according to plan. The longs were getting liquidated every time. Remember I said to you that longs would get liquidated because the price goes down and stays down for a long time, and they start bleeding and they start worrying. It's like that death, not by one huge smash, but it's like this death by slow tightening and tightening and tightening. My plan was going exactly according to plan. The shorts were now becoming dominant. So if you look at the perpetuals funding rate, the perpetuals funding rate went negative. Now, when the perpetuals funding rate goes negative, what that means is that people are actually paying shorts. So the shorts are paying the longs to be short, and the funding actually goes negative. And that's exactly what happened. It was going perfectly according to my plan. I was waiting for that one more leg down. If you were watching the markets yesterday, you would have seen that one more leg down was almost inevitable, right? And then something happened. Bang! We got this. You had First Republic Bank basically collapse. So that's what happened yesterday. And as soon as that happened, that is when my thesis changed. That is when my thesis changed. Why did my thesis change? Very simply, I got deja vu. All I could think about was Silicon Valley Bank. All I could think about was another bank collapsing. What happened when the other bank collapsed? That's what happened. You had Bitcoin go from under $20,000 and have a 50% run to get to $30,000. So as soon as I saw this, I got deja vu, I got the tinglies. I was like, hold on a second. I know I had this thesis that the leverage was going to go down. I know that I wanted one more leg down. I know, and as a trader, you got to be disciplined and say, well, I'm not going to that. But when the market changes, you have to react and respond to what the market gave you. And the market gave us a gift. The market gave us something that we had already seen before. And basically said, oh, you've seen this before? You remember what happened last time? Look, it's going to happen again. And that's exactly what happened. So as soon as FRC, the First Republic Bank, started to collapse, what we saw the price of Bitcoin actually start turning. That's exactly what happened over there. And then as a double confirmation of the confirmation, we got the dominance. Here, let me show you the dominance that happened. So you got the dominance do exactly what it did last time. Exactly. Remember, the dominance started to shoot up here last time because people were fleeing into Bitcoin, and it was Bitcoin, not altcoins. Because actually what it is Bitcoin is your protection against the bank. Altcoins are never going to protect you against bank runs and government stupidity. Altcoins are more venture capital investments, but Bitcoin is what actually protects you, right? So as I saw that, I got my first confirmation, price goes up on Bitcoin. Second confirmation, price goes up on dominance. Bang, I'm in. That's when I said, whatever my thesis was before, got to change my thesis right now, immediately, and I got to react quickly. And then what I got to do is I got to sound the alarm bells to tell the community that that's exactly what I did. I did it on Twitter. I really hope that you guys were there on my Twitter when I posted this, because maybe you would have taken the same thing. If you did, you would have been 10% up on your longs, but you would have been, if you were leveraged, and I did take my position on leverage. I didn't take a very big position. I took a small position, but I took it on leverage. And today, as you can see, that position is paying huge dividends. We're back at 29,749. And you can see that the leverage longs are started to go in. As soon as that happened yesterday, what we saw is we actually started to see another cascade of liquidations. I want to show you two things when it comes to this cascade of liquidation. So we saw another bunch of liquidations yesterday, 100 million, 150 million in the last 24 hours. But this time, who was it that actually got liquidated? This time, it's the shorts. Because they were starting to get short because they were calling the market down, as was I. And they were going down. And then, bang, when this thing happened, what happened was the shorts are the ones that actually got destroyed and liquidated. So now you've got the open interest rising again, means that the leverage is rising again, the degens are rising again, and the market is actually starting to move forward like a freight train. Now you cannot stand in the way of this freight train, because what I think is going to happen now is Gareth Soloway said he is only going to turn bullish when we break the 30,000 level. And I think he's right. Okay, so let me know, by the way, let me know in the chat if you saw my tweet and if you actually followed me in my tweet. So yes, I saw your tweet, but didn't follow you. Yes, I saw your tweet, but did follow you. Or you can just write, no, I'm an asshole, didn't even see your tweet. I was fast asleep, didn't even see your tweet. Next time I will see your tweet. So the reason why I'm so bullish now, the reason why I'm absolutely so bullish now, is because if I look at Bitcoin and I look at the level that we're at now and I zoom out and sorry, I'm looking at the dominant chart. That's not the right chart. BTC, USD. I want to show you this chart. This is what I think is going to happen here. And you can see that this is a major resistance level. We tested the resistance level over here and we didn't actually break it. This 30,000, 30,600. Gareth says it's about 30,600. I think he's right. There or thereabout, because it's quite a long-term trend. That's the trend. That is the support here, which became the resistance here. The 30,000, call it 30,200. Call it 30,200. There is with some spare change. Then we tested it. We didn't break it, but this time I actually think we might actually break it. And if we break it and we break this, then even the bears, even people like Gareth who said, look, he's not buying this. He's not buying this. He is actually now going to have to change his view and become bullish. So we have to keep watching the situation. You got to be awake. You got to be able to change your thesis when these things happen, because as it happened, Bitcoin broke the 29,000. Open interest started to go up. It was so clear, which is why I was so adamant that I had to bring it up for you. Andrew Kang pivoted long. I think he pivoted long a couple of hours after me. The funding rates changed. I saw this early. If you look at his tweet was at 5:53 a.m. Look when I pivoted. I pivoted at 4:51 p.m., 12 hours before. Most people only saw the pattern much later and actually only pivoted long later. I mean, he pivoted long at 29,000. We pivoted long at 28,000 for those who were actually talking, who were actually following us. So I hope you guys saw that. I'm glad that I could get some people in, some people out. Gonna keep following the story. But let's look at what the big fundamental data is that actually caused all of this to happen, because this all happened because of some kind of fundamentals. Let me just see. I think the research group is going crazy. Something happened in the markets. No, nothing happened in the market. All right, so let us look at, hold on, let's just have a look here. Okay, so let's look at actually what happened last time and why the market responded the way it responded. The first thing that you got to look at is, as I said to you, it was deja vu. What we saw here was absolute deja vu. It was the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank was the last catalyst that turned Bitcoin, and this time it was the collapse of First Republic Bank. Now, when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, that caused a 50% increase in the price of Bitcoin. For those of you who were following me, I went on to 𝗲𝗏 Spaces on the Friday when Bitcoin was at 19,000. Hey guys, buy Bitcoin. I've seen this movie before. How this plays out is you've got to be buying Bitcoin. Cool. Then we went down. Now we're getting First Republic Bank collapse. Now remember, all this time, the government tried to tell us that the banking system is safe, that the banking collapse is far from over. And you remember that First Republic Bank was actually quite a distressed bank. What happened was all the other big banks, the other major banks, in order to try and save First Republic Bank without the government intervention, all the other banks actually put deposits, put their money, their deposits into First Republic Bank, right? So, and then everything was fine. The government said, look, don't worry, guys, everything's fine. The banking collapse is over. We'll bail out deposits. We're not going to bail out shareholders, but we are going to bail out deposits. So don't start any bank runs. Everything was fine. But then yesterday, First Republic Bank actually published their results, right? So we had results from First Republic Bank. I want to quickly just get you guys the results so that you can see them. So at a headline level, headline level, First Republic Bank's Q1 earnings for 2023, revenue 1.2 billion. Here is where it got messy. Deposits at the end of the period, 104.47 billion. Okay, so what's the problem? This is the problem. The problem is that if you take a deeper look into this bank and you say, okay, revenues were down 13.4%, bad. Net interest income was down 20%, bad. Net income was down 33%, bad. But the problem is that when you look at their balance sheet, let me just try and find something in their balance sheet. Here we go. Deposits were down 35.5%. So effectively what we're starting to see here is we're starting to see a bank run here. This is after Jim Cramer actually came out and said, this is actually a good bank. Maybe it is a good bank, but it's not performing very well. And now what we're seeing is we're seeing a bank run on First Republic Bank. They cannot continue to operate like this because people don't trust them. And what they're doing, Fred, stop wiggling the green screen. There is no green screen here. So you get you've got First Republic Bank deposits starting to come down. And what you're really actually seeing here is you're seeing another bank run. You're seeing another bank run. Now, this is not a baby bank. I want to actually show you something. So this is not like a small regional bank. If you look at the size of this bank, what you'll see is that this is, I think it's the 15th biggest bank in the US, if I'm not mistaken. It is, I think it's the 15th biggest bank. Yeah, it's the 15th largest bank in the US. That's what it is. It is the 15th largest bank in the United States. And now the market is completely turned on this bank. So you can see that right now the shares in First Republic Bank opened again. It went down yesterday to $8, and now today it is at $6.83. And what it seems like is going to happen here is it seems like the government's actually going to have to take this bank over. That's what's going to happen. They did try and get bids for it. There were no bids. No one wanted to buy this, or specifically, they didn't find a bid yet. And what we're seeing is we're actually hearing right now that not only are officials from the White House, the Federal Reserve, and the U.S. Treasury holding talks with First Republic Bank, but the bank has added. The Biden administration becomes increasingly concerned that the bank is running out of time. So now the government's very, 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 very much involved here. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it's pouring with rain outside here. Pouring with rain. I'll actually show you how amazing this apartment is in a second. So you have the government now getting involved, and what it feels like is that this bank is actually going to go into government receivership. So it was on Fox News yesterday. That's saying that the bank is expected to be seized by the US government. And what we're seeing here, I mean, like it or not, it's the continuation of the banking collapse. The last time we had Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, I mean, effectively what you can say is all the crypto banks being taken down. And everyone said, like, these are all small banks, they're crypto banks, these are not big banks. Here's another bank going down. This time, this is not a crypto bank. First Republic Bank is not a crypto bank, nothing to do with crypto. And it is going down. And it's going down very, very, very quickly. Now, the interesting thing about what we saw yesterday, which was so encouraging for me, was this picture over here. As this happened, the stock markets went down crazy. You can see, look at the story of the stock markets yesterday. Can you see that? And whilst this was happening, whilst the stock markets were going down, whilst the banking sector, which is this orange line yesterday, was going down. This is the NASDAQ banking sector. You can see the banks were going down. Bitcoin was going up. It was a clear sign that the market was telling us we are scared of a banking collapse. As a hedge for the banking collapse, what we're going to do is we're going to start moving money into Bitcoin. So, you can say, hey, like the crypto bros, we keep talking about the fact that Bitcoin is protection against the bank, but maybe it is and maybe it isn't. But when you actually see data that is so fundamental and so compelling and so strong that actually gives you that sign, I'll show you 2 bits of data. I mean, I'm a data person. I do get very excited. I'm an excitable guy, you know that. But I do try and bring everything back to data. If there's no data, I don't believe it. Otherwise, it's just hype. But when I see a pattern like that says, the last time the banks went down, here it is. It's black. I mean, it's orange and green here, or in red. It's black and white. It's orange and green and red. You can see that when the banks went down last time, Bitcoin went up. And you can see that the banks are starting to go down again, and Bitcoin is starting to go up again. The last time this happened, this price went up 50%. The last time this happened, the Bitcoin dominance went up 11%. This time, again, the Bitcoin dominance has gone up again, not 11%, but it has started to move up, as you can see. This is exactly a repeat of it. Now, what happened the last time on dominance? We've got to climb up on dominance until Bitcoin maxed its dominance. And then when people started to make a lot of money on Bitcoin, they said, okay, we've made enough money on Bitcoin. Bitcoin went up. And then the altcoins started to follow and the dominance started to come down. And that's when we got the altcoin run, right? Maybe this is going to be the same. That's why you got to pay attention. But before we talk about altcoins, I just want to go back to the second bit of information. The first bit of information I said to you is I'm watching the on-chain data. The charts look something like this. Then I'm watching the on-chain data. And if I look at the on-chain data, it says, look, when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, when FTX collapsed, when Luna collapsed, people took their money off exchanges because they started to use Bitcoin for what it was meant to be. The reason why people buy Bitcoin is to own their own money that is immune to banking collapses and centralized entities collapsing. That is why we're all in Bitcoin. And every time that these centralized banking things collapse, we get a reminder. We get a reminder that we got to actually take control of our Bitcoin and take them off exchanges, right? And so what you're seeing now is that what I think we'll see in the next couple of days is we'll see people actually starting to take their Bitcoin off exchanges. And that will be a further confirmation for me that what's going on here is people are scared of a banking collapse, taking my Bitcoin. I don't want to be in the centralized world anymore. I'm taking my Bitcoin and I'm putting it into self-custody. And that's pretty much what happened. You'll also remember that Bitcoin is a function of liquidity. The more liquidity there is in the market, the higher the price of risk assets, and specifically the higher the price of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is at the very, very, very end of the risk asset spectrum, right? And so I've often showed you the global liquidity chart, and I've said, look, every time the global liquidity chart goes up, Bitcoin goes up. Now, we saw the last time that the US had to take over a bank. We saw that the Fed's balance sheet, which they were trying very, very, very hard to reduce, because this was the COVID top, $9 trillion, and they were trying their very best to reduce the balance sheet. But then Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, and then what happened when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed? Well, you can see there was a little increase in the balance sheet back to $8.73 trillion, which kind of means that, oh, well, there's nothing that the banks can do. There's nothing that they can do to actually reduce the balance sheet. And now, if they have to take over this bank and make investors whole, not investors, but make depositors whole, that just means more liquidity into the market. And as I said to you last time when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, I said, you can put a Band-Aid on the problem, on the symptom, but you can't eliminate the problem. It's impossible to eliminate the problem. That's exactly what we're starting to see getting out now. They managed for 2 months to hide the problem, but now they can't hide the problem anymore. And we're starting to see all these collapses. All right, so remember the last time when this happened, we got altcoins. We got a Bitcoin run first, and then we got an altcoin run. So I think that's what's going to happen here. And if I look at the altcoins, I did speak to you the other day, and I said to you, there were 3 coins that I was speaking about. You can go back to my video 3 days ago, and I said to you, there's 3 coins that I'm speaking about today, which I'm looking to buy if there is a dip. Remind me, because I know that you guys were at that class, what were the 3 coins that I spoke about? And I said, I'm looking to buy one of them if it just goes under $6. And then there were 2 other coins, which I said, they went up the quickest, they went down the quickest. I think they're going to go up the quickest again. Let's see if you guys get it right. Someone here says Injective. You're 100% right. Mark Lane, he says, okay, Danny also says Injective. I didn't say Sol, I didn't say Pepe. I said 3 coins. I said Radix, Render, and Injective. Those are the 3 that I said I'm looking to buy. That's what I said. I said, when they go down, those are the ones that I'm looking to buy. Now look at the bubbles today. The ones that went down the quickest were the ones that bounced the hardest. The 3 tokens that I told you were my picks for buying: Radix, Render, Injective, all now going back towards the all-time high. The 4th one, which I actually do have a position in, Arbitrum, as you know, have a position. Let me just see if my position's, okay, my position's not open on the screen here. But very important to watch those trends to say, okay, what are the coins that are performing the best? Because when the market turns, they will come up again. They'll go, rest assured, if the market dips, these will go down the most. But then you buy them, and then you go up. I'm going to show you later on in the show, I'm going to show you a couple of other altcoins, which I think might be getting into, because what's going to happen now, if this plays out like we think this is going to play out, here's what happens. The Bitcoin dominance increases. Maybe it'll go above 49. Benjamin Cowan has a, I don't know what the right word is. What does he do? He has like a thing on Twitter where he goes, I told you so, 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 I told you so. Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. But then afterwards, Bitcoin, when people maximize their profits into Bitcoin and they get confidence in the rally, then the Bitcoin dominance actually goes down, and then the altcoins are going to go up. So watch for that pattern, because if that's the pattern, then the altcoins are actually even going to go much higher. This is like a normal pattern. All right, so you want to see the apartment, then we'll carry on with the alpha. There's lots of alpha here. So this is a rental apartment. It's an Airbnb. You can see there's a bedroom over there, which is actually where I'm sleeping. That behind the curtain. I'm not going to open the curtain. And then there's very cool lounge over here. It's a very cool apartment with like huge windows, as you can see. It's pouring with rain in Austin. There's a cool kitchen up there. And then what the best part is, there's another room, as you can see up there, where I hung my jacket. It's like a loft room, which is very, very, very cool. So for those of you who want to see where I'm staying, I think it's very cool. And when I do choose an apartment, I always choose an apartment where there's depth, so that when I can stream, there's a lot of depth and it looks amazing. So yeah, maybe if you guys are in Austin, we should have a party. It's a great penthouse. We should have an amazing party. So if you're in Austin, let me know in the comments. Hook me up, people. Hook me up. All right, let's look at other things that happened yesterday, which are also good or bad for the market. And then there's lots of alpha coming up. So the next thing we got earnings. Remember, I said to you, this was going to be a very, very, very big earnings week. And I said to you, we were a little bit, I don't know what the word is. What's the word? Like, do we want bad earnings or do we want good earnings? That's what we were asking. And I said, on the one hand, we want bad earnings because then Powell has to not increase interest rates. On the other hand, good earnings because then we're not going into recession. So yesterday, we got earnings. We got three sets of earnings that actually mattered yesterday. So what were the earnings that actually mattered for us yesterday? The first earnings we got was Microsoft. The second earnings we got was Alphabet, and the third earnings we got were Visa. Now, Microsoft, Alphabet beat their revenue forecast and their earnings per share, and Microsoft beat their earnings per share. And so what we would have said is, hey, hold on, the economy is very good. Both Microsoft and Google actually beat their earnings. You can see that the market is actually rewarding Microsoft. Microsoft actually up 7% now. But actually, that's actually cheating. These two are actually cheating. And the reason why these two are cheating is because these are both the AI plays. So Microsoft has just incorporated the ChatGPT into their search, and they're coming after Google when it comes to search. And Google went onto their earnings call and said, okay, well, we are the kings of AI. We know how to use AI. We've been doing search for so long. We're going to refine our model, et cetera, et cetera. So they're not really the ones that we should be looking at. One of the ones that we should be looking at, and we did look at, is Visa. They also beat, okay? Visa also beat. And remember, Visa have got very, very, very ambitious blockchain plans. So they are hiring. They even said that they have very, very ambitious blockchain plans. So keep an eye on those. They've got a very, very, these good results for Visa mean good blockchain adoption, because I think that Visa knows that their future is actually in payments, and you cannot have a future in payments and not think that those payments are going to be blockchain payments. And so keep an eye on Visa. Today we have Facebook or Meta. I think Meta overperforms, because remember when Meta underperformed last time, you remember what the market did for them. The market effectively obliterated them. So I think now they're going to be much more cautious, and I think that now they're actually going to beat. And then tomorrow, Amazon. Amazon, for me, is very important. It is the finger on the pulse of what the retail consumer is doing. It's a finger of the pulse to tell us whether there's a recession or if there's no recession. Because when there's a recession, people don't buy on Amazon. When there isn't a recession, of course they do. So let's watch Amazon. Let's see if there's anything else that we should be watching today. No, today, Meta. Don't worry about anything else. Tomorrow, Amazon. Tomorrow, Amazon. American Airlines also tomorrow. I flew yesterday. I flew via Dubai, so I flew on Emirates. I flew on Emirates to get to the US, and then when I got to the US, I flew American Airlines. Man, I think American travelers deserve better. On Emirates, you're treated like a sheikh. You're treated like gold. You just lift your finger. On American Airlines, it's like, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of dirt. I hate flying American Airlines. Americans, you really deserve better. You deserve better when it comes to an administration. You deserve better when it comes to an SEC. You deserve better when it comes to airlines. Americans, you deserve better. You deserve better. I think you really do deserve better. Yeah. All right, let's talk about another thing. So remember what we said is that if the earnings are good, we can almost be guaranteed that Powell's going to increase interest rates. If the earnings are bad, then maybe we're going into recession, then Powell can't increase interest rates. But that's not what happened now, because when the bank yesterday started to show signs of a collapse and a bank run, the rules of the game changed, and now it all becomes around the rules of the game. And the rules of the game now are is there going to be a banking collapse, number one, and is inflation continuing to go down? And remember, we've got a very, very big indicator of inflation this week. It's the PCE, which is the personal consumption expenditure, which is what the Fed look at actually to see. Fed don't look at CPI, Fed look at PCE. So we have the PCE coming out on 28th of April. When is that? Tell me in the chat when that is. I've landed in so many different time zones, I don't even know what day we're in. And there is a forecast that we're going to go down to 4.1%. So on the PCE. So let's see what happens when it comes to PCE. Right now, 78% chance of a 25 basis point rate hike. Let's quickly see what the market's telling us. The market's saying increase now, and then 2 months of holding steady, and then decreasing interest rates. That's what the market's now predicting. That's what the predictor of the market is. All right, let's look at some other things. We did get some bad news yesterday for Voyager people. And if you have money in Voyager, I really feel really bad for you. Americans, you deserve better. This was exactly it. Americans, you deserve better than what you're currently getting, because we finally got Binance wanting to bail out Voyager and make people almost whole. They were going to get 75% or 70+% of their money back. And in the last, remember, they fought against the SEC in multiple court battles, and eventually, the judge said, okay, the judge almost laughed at the SEC, and he said that the deal can go through, and which was very good news. And the reason why it was very good news is because it means that the people that have money in Voyager can actually get their money out, and then that comes as liquidity into the market. And everybody was very excited about this, including myself. But then yesterday, Voyager received a letter from Binance terminating the asset purchase agreement, which is very bad. And as a result, now what they're going to do is they're going to pay out whatever they have to the people, and that means that the people are going to take a very big haircut. Why? Because when Voyager went bankrupt, they had money, but they didn't have enough money to pay everybody what they deserved. And so when a Binance comes and buys this business, Binance says, look, I'm not only taking over the money, but I'm actually getting like 1 million accounts. And if I'm getting 1 million accounts, that has value. So I'm willing to pay more money for that. And the money that I pay for that can actually be distributed to the token holder, to the depositors. But now the deal's off. Why is the deal off? Because no one knows exactly, but I do want to show you what Binance, so the 𝗧𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓 Trades, he said yesterday, before Binance pulling out of the Voyager deal is part of the conditions, with the CFTC commissioner today. He says, because Binance is now in litigation with the CFTC, remember that the CFTC opened a court case against Binance, he's saying that maybe as a gesture of goodwill and not wanting to get further into the United States, they're going to have to exit this deal. Just, I want to be really careful not to prejudge what will actually happen in the litigation. And I want to say that typically in the context of any litigation, we are always ready to have conversations, and typically ahead of litigation. We've been in continuing conversations with the business to describe what we understand is potentially problematic conduct, and to give them an opportunity to explain that conduct and to help us find a path forward. As of the moment, there's no path forward. So it seems like Binance pulled out. It says, Binance made a difficult decision to exercise its right to terminate the asset purchase agreement with Voyager. While our hope throughout this process was to make Voyager's customers give them access to crypto, the hostile and uncertainty regulatory climate in the United States has introduced an unpredictable operating environment impacting the entire American business community. We are focused on creating a safe platform where customers can participate in the digital economy. So there we go. Americans, you deserve better because of the regulatory environment in the United States, which is clear. They don't want Binance in the United States. we are now getting another setback, another setback, which is terrible. You know what's very bad here. So one is, look at the legal fees that the depositors are actually paying. I mean, this money comes out of money that could be paid out of depositors. So far on FTX, 123 million, on Celsius 36 million, on Voyager $50 million, which could have gone back to the public. And on BlockFi, 20 million could have gone back to the public, but now it's going into the not regulators, but the liquidation, the liquidations people. I keep saying, and I hate saying it because I know that 30% of our people are Americans, but America, you deserve better. You deserve an SEC that actually wants you to participate and wants you to have financial freedom. You deserve to be in the land of the free, which is the promise that is actually being made to you. You deserve that. You deserve to be allowed to trade on derivatives exchanges because it's a massive opportunity. You deserve to be allowed to be in crypto. You deserve that. You deserve better airlines. You deserve all of this, but you're not getting it. You're not getting it. And the reason why you're not getting it is because administrations are corrupt. You know, like I was watching Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson get mysteriously fired very, very, very quickly. But then, you know, it actually wasn't such a surprise because if you think about it, BlackRock are the biggest allies to the government because they manage most of the government's money. They're the biggest fund manager of the government's money. And if you dig deep enough, what I found was that they filed a piece of information with the SEC that they actually increased their share in Fox Corporation. So BlackRock increases their stake in the Fox Corporation, and when they did that, Tucker Carlson gets automatically fired. And you know, Tucker Carlson is the first guy to speak against the main guy that speaks against the administration. So, I mean, are you surprised? Americans, you deserve better. You deserve better. It's completely corrupt, and I'll show you again how I think that Americans are being, why this is completely corrupt. And you know what, I don't actually care. I don't care that this video is going to be removed from YouTube. I don't care. I know it will. Just smash the like button, help me. But this video will be removed because I'm going against the establishment and I'm going against them transparently and honestly, and it always happens. But anyway, worth it for you guys, worth it. But when Gary Gensler was at MIT, he lectured blockchain. He lectured blockchain at MIT. You'd think that a guy that lectured blockchain at MIT would be pro Bitcoin and pro blockchain, right? Yes, correct. Now, there is a clip that I found that shows Gary Gensler actually talking about ICOs in the days
now in the US
when he lectured in MIT. And in this specific lecture, he specifically says that ICOs are not securities.
So we already know in the US and in many other jurisdictions that 3/4 of the market are not ICOs or not what would be called securities, even in the US, Canada, and Taiwan, the 3 jurisdictions that follow something similar to the Howey test that we've talked about. 3/4 of the market is non-securities. It's just a commodity, a cash crypto. So you'll hear debates about initial coin offerings and what's a security and what's not a security. Relevant and important debate. But for 3/4 of the market, it's not particularly relevant as a legal matter, as a regulatory matter. Can
you believe that this is the same Gary Gensler that we have today? And that just shows you that people change their views. And when people change their views, it's a function of what money they've been given. How did that guy who's taught blockchain at MIT. Look, you don't teach something you're not passionate about. Why would you teach a course you're not passionate about? It just sounds so dumb. Like, hey, I want to teach a course. What are you going to teach a course about? Oh, something I'm really not passionate about. But you see, when the money comes in and it becomes corrupt, that's the problem. That is the problem. That is what's going on. Americans, I say again, you deserve better. You deserve better airlines. You deserve better legislation. You deserve better access to the same privileges that everybody else in the world can get. You deserve better. You deserve access to exchanges. You deserve access to our trading competition. So, by the way, today is the first day, 998. If you remember, at 2,000 we close this. It's still very early for you guys to get in, and let's right now. Here we go. The winner's got 32.36%. He's expected to return. I'm going to be funding 10 accounts today, 10 accounts tomorrow as well. So if you're not already in the competition, go to the competition. Even if it's just to look at your to see how well you're doing. Not only to win the amazing prizes at Tesla, $100,000 in cash in spot prizes, a Rolex, and $10,000 in cash. I don't know. Let's go. All right. I did tweet the other day something which was quite alarming. I don't mean to be alarmist, but I did want to show you this tweet because it was worrying me. It was worrying me a lot because it's a cataclysmic event for Bitcoin if this had to happen. So what I tweeted was, I said, I'm worried that these that a whole lot of old Bitcoin addresses became active after 10 years. So it's very scary when you're getting one or two Bitcoin addresses coming active after 10 years from Satoshi's era. It's not a problem. But when you're getting a lot, there is a couple of risks. The first risk is that somehow people have found a way to crack the private keys or seed words, which is mathematically highly improbable, but obviously possible with things like quantum computing, which is why quantum computing could one day take down Bitcoin. It's very far away, because like as you see, it says quantum computers are millions times too small to hack Bitcoin. That was only a year ago, but it can happen, and that's one of the concerns. The other concern that I had is that maybe one of the wallet word generators, you know, when you get a wallet, they generate words. I had a concern that one of the word generators had been hacked. And so I thought that a big concern, and you've got to keep your eyes on the concern, is that maybe these accounts that are becoming undormant is because an old or a wallet generator from back in the old days, when maybe they didn't have such sophisticated technology, started. And so you saw this account over here, which got its Bitcoin on the 12th of December in 2013, on the 18th of December 2013, started to move 2,000 Bitcoin so many years later. It wasn't the only account. Here's another account, got its Bitcoin in 2012, and you can see started to move Bitcoin this week. And then here's another account which got its Bitcoin, I think also 2012. I think that's the same account. Same thing with Ethereum. So, you know, accounts that hadn't been active for years and years and years. In fact, since the ICO, now starting to move their tokens. There were two risks, as I said. One is somehow a computer can start hacking private keys, which highly unlikely and improbable, but always a tiny probability. And the last one is that we got that there is some way to crack these wallets, or one of the wallets had been compromised. So far, it looks like none of those, but I did think it was worth my while keeping you updated with it. All right, let's degen a little bit into altcoins, because I know that's why you guys are here. You guys are a bunch of degens. You want to degen into altcoins. That's why you're here. Let's look at the altcoins. I think that's the best way to look at it. First thing is Render up, I think 235, which is great for us. We've been holding Render. I wouldn't be buying into Render now. I think you'd be buying. You don't buy the screen. Injective up, Radix up, Arbitrum is of course up. Phantom is up 10%. Good news on Phantom. Very, very good news on Phantom. I saw that 𝗕𝗏𝗕𝗓 is launching a crypto-friendly bank service through Phantom. This is the news in the market. Keep your eyes on it. This is coming from the founder of Sushi. So this is not like a small, like, this is a guy who's in. Why am I not following Andre? Yeah, so he says that 𝗕𝗏𝗕𝗓 is launching a bank. One that I think the market hasn't really caught on to yet, but I think you should be buying this whenever you get an opportunity, is Stargate. So let's just see what Stargate's doing today. Okay, it's up 11% today. Definitely worth accumulating on the dips. Look at their volumes. So look at Stargate's volumes. That's their weekly volume. This thing's growing. the fundamentals are telling you that this thing's going to turn. So keep your eyes on Stargate. When there are dips, load up on Stargate. I did tell you to load up on Render. I did tell you to load up on Injective. My third pick that I'm telling you to load up on is Stargate. I see that 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗏, if you're part of a Telegram group, he says that altcoin are breaking key supports or about to do it. Some others already making new lows. This confirms the move to December's low was corrective, expecting a strong sell-off where altcoins could dump 60 to 80%. Come on, do me a favor, bro. Change your narrative. Change your narrative. Just change your fucking narrative. It's time. You're embarrassing yourself. You need to change your narrative. It's becoming super embarrassing. And the problem is that you're wrecking your followers with you because you're not willing to change the way that you see things. All right, let's see if there's anything else that's breaking right now. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm looking at our Banter research group. Bulls are being paid. Funding is still negative. Funding is still negative, but you can see the negative funding. So right now, people are still short. That means there's still short covering going on. I also see that 𝗕𝗲𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗒𝗧𝗏, he says he's skeptical on this move higher, driven by liquidity and short covering, not as much as spot buying, also coming at a time when broader market risks are taking a beating. He's worried about that. I'm not too worried about that. I think watch the banking sector, watch the banking collapse. If the banking sector continues to collapse, if we see more signs of banks collapsing, we're long. Otherwise, we're not so long. All right, a couple of announcements. So first of all, for those of you who want to see the apartment again, here it is. So that's the apartment. Very long, very cool depth for filming. Actually, let me show you my streaming setup so that you guys can laugh a little bit. So that's what it looks like. So I've got a soundboard over there. I've got one monitor over there, which is what I'm showing you guys. I've got my monitor over here, which is where my research group is feeding me a whole lot of news. You've got lights. You've got a protein shake. You've got my mineral water over here, which I normally drink. Then you got a great kitchen over here. It's a bit of a mess because I've been in the kitchen, but very cool kitchen over here. Then you've got the lounge over here, which is very cool with a great view out there. And then there's a second bedroom. I think you guys can see it up there where I hung my jacket up on the loft, which is super, super, super cool. I'm really happy with this apartment. Maybe for those of you who are here in Austin, maybe we'll throw a bit of a party at the apartment. Hold on, let me just sit down again. Yes, I'm drinking. Someone says I'm drinking soy milk. Yeah, I'm drinking soy milk. I don't actually like dairy. I don't really drink dairy. So yeah. I also want to just show you quickly just a couple of things that I think are very, very important. One is trading competition starts today. Sign up. I see a whole lot of you are signing up. Oh, I did say I'd fund accounts. Let me stick to my word. Let me stick to my word. I have to stick to my word. You know me. I'm a stickler for making sure that I stick updated. Okay. Hold on. Let me quickly get you a list of people. Okay, so this is the accounts. Now it's obviously not live. This is not live. Here we go. Not live because we've been on, but so we've got out of the 1,000 people, about 895 are on here. So let's just quickly fund a whole lot of accounts. So if you are this account over here, $250 goes into your account. I'm funding you. The account number is 641-14145. Then 640-58645. I'm funding you $250 to play the competition. And over here, 635-853-382. I'm funding you $250. And let's do one more for today. Let's go a little bit deeper over here. 293-53636. Just want to show you one thing which is super important here. You can see that with all of these accounts, we know whether you signed up with a Banter link. So only the ones that have got our code over here can qualify for fund. Oh, so it's this guy. I'm not funding your account because you're not one of our guys. So you've been canceled. We're only funding accounts, and the prizes are only for people who have a Banter link account. Okay, so I'm going to fund this account instead. Then remember, again, very important that you remember this. If you want to go to Bitcoin Miami, use this link, but you have to use the promo code Crypto Banter. You see, when they ask you at the end for a promo code, use Crypto Banter. The first 20 people that sign up will come for dinner with myself, Sheldon, Miles, Fred, Hassel, Kyle. We're going to go 25 of us for dinner, 20 of you and the hosts from Banter, so you can do that. And then lastly, I just want to give some more love to one of our new sponsors who, by the way, I think are absolutely amazing, which is 𝗕𝗏. We were early investors in 𝗕𝗏. These guys are the best on-ramp and off-ramp. They've also got a crypto card. They also link you. It's a bank account and a crypto account in one, which is, for me, the holy grail. So if you haven't checked them out, go check them out. There's a link below. Do that. So listen, love you guys madly. So much so that I'm happy to wake up for you guys at 5 o'clock in the morning to bring you this crypto love and crypto wisdom, if I can. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I hope you'll all be in the trading competition. I hope you guys will be at the top of the trading competition. I've funded 2 new accounts to play the trading competition, and I will do that. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, much love and trade well, my friends.